Dragonman Productions presents The Marvelous Profiles. Episode 2, Glorious Purpose.
What's up, guys? It is finally here. Episode 2, Glorious Purpose for The Marvelous Profiles. So I know that a lot of fans were basically like, so it is finally time for the long-awaited Loki breakdown. Let's just get right into it, shall we? Thank you to YouTube.com for these video clips and images and more. Thank you to YouTube.com and more for these video clips and images, of course. And in case there are any Ultimate Loki fans out there who feel like this explanation may not be, like, I could have done better, I'm trying to say. I'm just saying right now, I'm sorry, I tried. But anyway, Loki fans would get that. And who is Loki anyway? Well, when he first started out, he was, as we all know of, the god of mischief. But why exactly did he choose this name, this title, and this path? Well, in a way, he didn't choose. In a way, it was something that was given to him. Even as a boy, when it was compared to Thor, Loki was always seen as second best, and Thor was always seen as the heroic child who would be destined to be king. But Loki wasn't seen as anything much, because Thor was always, in the eyes of birthright, destined to be the heir to the throne, the king. But Loki, what exactly Odin was thinking is something that I cannot comprehend, something that I don't know, but I don't know. And furthermore, after Thor was banished for disobedience and stubbornness, Loki found out what his true destiny in Odin's eyes was. And after Odin told him, he felt like that his purpose, his reason for existence, was wasted away. A frost giant by birth. And I feel like the frost giants were somewhat Spartan-like, looking at their children, at their future heirs, their future basically, as strong, muscular, and independent. But as Odin put it, Loki was smaller than the other frost giants, and because he was viewed as basically a runt to his own kind, he was disregarded and left to die. By his own father, his birth father at least. And Odin took him in and raised him as his own. So this alone would make Loki and anyone feel like an alien in their own kind. Odin took Loki for a reason, but Odin refused to let Loki see the truth, because probably he knew it would hurt. But Loki needed to find out who he was, what his purpose and meaning in life was. It was so dear to him and is so dear to each and every one of us to know what exactly I'm here for. Loki just felt like, at this moment in time, there was no reason.
Tell me! I thought we could unite our kingdoms one day, bring about an alliance, bring about a permanent peace through you. But those plans no longer matter.
Because of Thor's disobedience and stubbornness, and because of the risk of another war between the frost giants, negotiation was no longer possible. But even before this, even before Thor fought the frost giants with the Warriors 3 and with Loki, this still could have been possible. Why Odin refused to do this was unsearchable. The reason why he chose to let Loki sit in Asgard, to let him basically be in a prison in his own home without him even realizing it, Loki was devastated. All of Asgard knew the tales of frost giants and the devastation that they could cause, what they nearly created with the eternal cascade of winters. And because of all of the things that Asgard believed in the frost giants, Loki started to believe in them himself, thinking that both the frost giants and he were viewed little more than monsters.
So I am no more than another stolen relic, locked up here until you might have use of me.
Why do you twist my words?
You could have told me what I was from the beginning. Why didn't you?
You're my son. I wanted only to protect you from the truth.
What, because I'm the monster that parents tell their children about at night?
No.
You know, it all makes sense now why you favored Thor all these years. Because no matter how much you claim to love me, you could never have a frost giant sitting on the throne of Asgard.
Henceforth, Loki made it his destiny to become king and to rule. To make his father look up to him. To make Odin see that Loki had done something good. Time and time again, Loki and Thor fought. Thor fought for justice and for defense. But Loki fought for the man that he would be. His identity, himself. Every single time he tried, Thor always came out on top. Because the people supported him. But when it came to Loki, they just believed the same thing that he believed. That he was the villain. Picture this. Trying to find out who you are, but then some way, shape, or reason, Loki found out, because of Odin, that his life, everything that was destined for him, would not be, because Loki was told that it was too late. Too late to be himself. But he did have one person. One who he could always talk to and relate to. His mother, Frida. The very person who taught him all of the knowledge and his powers that he ever knew. She was always there for him, comforting him, helping him to fit in. But even then, even after all of this, loss occurred. And even then, the very last thing that Loki told her.
Your father... He's not my father!
Then am I not your mother?
You're not.
The only person that he ever had in his life. The only person that he could relate to. Gone forever. At this point in the story, Loki was truly at his lowest point. Or at least it would seem. But how? How could one possibly think that this was not the lowest point? His mother gone, his father hating him, and still searching to find out who he is. At least, it seemed so. Loki now felt in his life that his path was chosen for him. Loki started to believe things about himself that were never meant to be a part of his life. Words like murderer, betrayer, stealer. Loki truly thought he was the villain. But Thor, his own brother, who always bested him at everything, after the death of their mother, the two came together and they started to open up to each other.
I wish I could trust you. Trust my rage.
Loki and Thor were forced to work together. And in a way, it was for the better. Because all competition aside, they really started to love and understand one another. Well, one side more than the other. Loki took the throne of Asgard for himself after the Dark World, again, to try something, anything, to make it up for his father. He believed he was born to be a king. He was born to rule, to try anything, something for his father to love him. But in the scene in Norway, I want to show you guys something specific.
We failed you, but we can make this right.
I failed you, but you must face alone. I love you, my sons.
Plural. Both of them. Loki felt like he never had his father's love, ever since day one. But Odin came clean and expressed that he failed them both. Yes, he was mainly referring to Asgard, but I like to think of this scene as an apology to Loki. And furthermore, not just an apology, but one that he made just before his passing. Again, more loss. Don't worry, you guys, I'm not going to show the scene, but even in Avengers Infinity War, when Thor was just about to die, when Thanos was just about to kill him, Loki stepped in and offered his own life in his place. His very competitor and rival was the one that he sacrificed himself for. Because he loved Thor. Not the competitor, not the rival. He loved his brother. Basically, ever since Freya's death, Loki, felt like there was no one for him. That he was the lone wolf in his own path. Unwanted, despised.
Alone.
That sounds awful.
But in the midst of all of this, Loki was still given another chance, even after his death. And henceforth the Loki season was born. So, yeah. It was here that Loki was truly stripped from everything and at his lowest point. Because let's remember, my bad, that this version of Loki, the 2012 version, never experienced anything that happened to him after the final battle of the Avengers 2012. So he had to relive and remember everything that had happened to him. His mother, dead. His father, dead. Thor and he getting along so well. Loki himself, dead. But just before the end of the file, we saw Thor hugging Loki's dead body. And then the explosion happened. So I want to believe that Loki truly believes that everyone, including Thor, that he ever cared about, all of Asgard, everyone, gone. Loki had to wonder, what on earth was left for him now? He tried to find his meaning, his purpose, and yet it still resulted in him losing everything. When he started out, he had nothing, and he felt like when he ended, he had gained no more than what he already had. And then people showed up in his life. People who offered him a second chance. People who could help him. And after that, when Loki was truly stripped of everything, even his power, even everything that he previously had not known, he was given new purpose and new identity. He gained more than just friends, though. He gained people to fight for. Previously, he had fought for himself and for his identity. But now, as he grew used to the TVA, he found friends to fight for, even though he may have lost some. But at the same time, he got them back.
What will you do at the TVA? Burn it to the ground. Thanks for the spark. Well, see you later, Loki.
Thank you, my friend.
Loss, time and time again, kept haunting him. But he still tried to fix things. Because he was fighting for people who he loved. People who he cared about. But one aspect that Loki did keep from his previous journey, he was willing to sacrifice everything, to lay down his own life for those who he cared about.
I know what kind of god I need to be. For you. For all of us.
It was his friends who helped him to find out who he was always meant to be. That's how it is in life. We all need people in our lives to remind us of who we are and who we were always meant to be. For Loki, such was the case. Because he wasn't a villain. There was always a hero inside of him. He was told that wherever he went, the only things that he brought were pain, suffering, and death. But no. There was more to Loki's story than just that. He sacrificed everything. his own free will so that others would have it. He brought healing to the timelines. He brought joy to those who could have a chance to live. And above all, he brought life. That is who Loki was always meant to be. Always. Such is, and always, from now on, will be the case for Loki, the god of stories. I'd run down all of the powers that I could, but as we know so far, we don't see the limits to Loki's powers. It's just because ever since the TVA, ever since Loki Season 2, he was allowed to explore his powers and to be himself. And when he was underneath Odin and Asgard, he felt extraordinarily limited. But powers usually include that of energonic blasts, duplications, illusions, and a whole ton of other stuff. And of course, as we all know, Jotuns by blood have impervious skin. So that's another way how Loki was able to walk out onto the temporal loom without, spigenifying, which thank God they did not do that. Anyway, but my favorite Loki suit, gosh, this is going to be a hard one, but dude, I think I have to go with the Loki Season 2 jacket. Now, as we can plainly see, it is different from the previous jacket. Here's what the first jacket looked like. And as we can see, the TVA logo is on the side, and it looks like it is made out of a different sort of a fabric. The one from Loki Season 2 is a bit darker brown, but I don't know what it is. Maybe because of the zipper collar on the sides of his neck and chest are a little bit, bigger. I don't know what it is. I love the jacket. So, thank you for watching this very long video, probably the longest one that I've done on my channel so far. Do I care? No. But anyway, oh my gosh, there was just so much to Loki's backstory that I had to do this. I had to do a longer trailer breakdown, what the heck? Character breakdown for this character, and I hope that all of you guys enjoyed episode 2, Glorious Purpose, as much as I did making it for you guys. So, we are off to a great start. Go Gwen, go Loki, and oh my gosh, the next one. So, I will share the topic and the name like I did for Glorious Purpose at the end of, we're probably the only ones who do understand, but first, I just gotta say, make sure to subscribe to the Giant Clan family to not miss out on my future videos, giveaways, contests, etc. Share with your friends if you like to spread the character breakdown of Loki. This was probably one of my more intense videos, and oh my gosh, it's just the character of Loki is just so brilliantly done. I love the character just because of the character development, the stories that he tells, and wow, just and also, give this video a like if you are a fan of Loki and a fan of this miniseries. I'm having a fun time doing it, and with that said and done, just before I show you guys the topic and the name for the next episode, respectful eye guys out there, peace out and... Smash!